And we're live.
Hooray.
Yeah.
We did it.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas happened.
Christmas
It's
happened.
been Christmas
It's a
since we last
holiday.
talked.
How was your guys'
Merry
Christmas?
Happy Boxing Day.
Mm-hmm. That too.
My Christmas was good. Nothing special. I'm obviously in a new setting because I am up in Calgary.
Yep.
Hanging out at your mother's place.
Yeah, at the moment. In the basement.
In the basement.
Using this gaming headset.
Hell yeah.
That hot game mic, baby. Yeah.
What about you? Anything cool go on?
No.
Not really. Went to go visit my family and because they were all at my sister's place.
Okay.
So went up there for a bit. The boys are really into Power Rangers right now, so they were running around with all these Power Ranger swords, hitting everything.
Nice. Yes. Perfect.
They were going crazy. It was hilarious.
The boys
Man.
being you and your nephews, right?
Yeah.
Well, my nephews dragged me into it. They made me be the villain, and they kept hitting me with
Dragged
swords.
you into it.
Well, there's like, one of them was like, Uncle Jonathan, you have to say that you hate lions. I'm like, okay, I hate lions. And then they just started hitting me.
You're like, I could never say that. I would sooner die.
I love them so much. Why could you? Why would you do that?
Could never say that.
I'm picturing John being there like, oh, I can't play with you guys. I'm an adult now. Oh, fine. If you twisted my arm, he pulls out his own Power Rangers sword or whatever from
Yeah.
his backpack.
I mean, they're right there. I could literally walk over and grab them right now.
Yeah, exactly.
He just plays the Green Ranger's theme. Like, that's when you know shit's on.
I wish, but they wouldn't know who the Green Ranger are. They're
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
They're like, we like the Gold Ranger. He's a cowboy, but he's a farmer. And I'm like, okay, I'll take your word for this.
Right. They're probably watching whatever the current incarnation of Power Rangers is.
Super Ninja Steel, I think is what it is.
Mm.
Oh, really? That doesn't sound anything like a cowboy. Is it red? Is it like Red Steel? That's what I'm starting to think now.
It's not Red Steel. Ubisoft was not involved.
Red Steel 3 coming 2019.
It's okay. They'll grow into it. They'll grow into original Power Rangers with time.
They might not. You never know.
Yeah. Maybe Beetleborgs. Maybe that'll be the thing
man.
they go to.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
They'll
Power
love-
Rangers is
they'll
a
love
gateway
Genie-
drug.
They'll love Genie J. Leno. That'd be great.
Yeah. Beetleborgs.
I
And
am
VR
Googling that
Troopers.
now. That is-
Oh, man.
I don't know what VR Troopers is, but Beetleborgs I definitely remember.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
VR Troopers was my jam. Besides, like, the Power Rangers, of course. The wacky... I don't even know.
Are these all Sabin? Or Saban?
Saban, yeah.
On?
Although I believe the company got bought. Someone owns the rights now to the new series, because there's a new series coming out in February.
there are multiple like Halloween or horror themed Beetleborg specials.
Yeah, that makes
I mean,
sense.
of course, it was all about monsters. Makes sense.
Yeah, Curse of the Shadowborg and the Vampire Files. This
Power
looks
Rangers
terrible.
Beast Morphers is the new Power Ranger series.
Beast Morphers.
That just sounds like, yeah, whatever the Beast Transformers one was.
Beasties or Beast Wars, depending where you lived in the world at that
Beast
time.
Wars, yeah. That just sounds like Beast Wars.
I'm trying to figure out what company owns the rights now, because it's a different company. But I do not remember.
Apparently, Beetleborgs does not hold up.
I'm not surprised.
Go
It was 3
figure.
kids fighting comic book monsters.
Yeah.
What was the other one you said? VR
Hasbro.
what? Oh, Troopers.
VR Troopers?
Hasbro
Immediately. Holy
owns
smokes.
Power Rangers now.
VR
I mean,
Troopers
this
got
looks-
popular again because JonTron made a video of it sometime. So that's easy to find now.
Oh, they're just doing the toys. Never mind. Yeah, so Hasbro's doing the toys now over Bandai. So the
Mm.
toys will be different, but it looks like it's still Saban.
VR Troopers looks just kind of like Ultraman.
It kind of is.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Except
Only
this
in a
still had
VR
a
world.
Zord.
Yeah. It's weird.
Sword.
That was my jam though. I like that one because they went into computer world. because why not? I guess.
I mean, when it comes to Computer World, my jam was Reboot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, which Homer brought up in the chat there.
Mm-hmm.
Which apparently that got a new series as recent as like this year in Japan.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. There's an anime called because it was originally called Gridman, and then over here it got Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, but apparently like Gridman got a new series.
Okay. Sure.
Netflix is making a new Ultraman series.
Why not?
Yeah.
I watched
Why
that
not?
Trailer.
No.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure.
Yeah. I did the same. I went to visit family. So I got home last night. Not a whole lot to say, I guess, about that. Just family's good. And it was
Hanging out in Edmonton.
It was relaxing to not have to worry about where food was going to come from today or having to get up or do anything. It was pretty good.
Sure. Yeah, it's been pretty dry up here. Not a lot of snow. We just like got some snow like late Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Which I was like, man, I was looking forward to some snow.
In Edmonton, it was a very snowy Christmas Day. Like the type that you would see in those like Hallmark movies where it's just like laying it thick and nobody's outside just watching.
Okay. How was driving back down then?
It was totally fine. It was weird because we came down yesterday, Boxing Day, so it was like nothing had happened. There were like a few spots where it got foggy, but the roads were clean.
Snowplows doing work.
I guess so, yeah. Also, global warming. Got to give a shout out to that.
Yeah, any chance?
Thanks for all that you do for us.
Yeah, the big guy upstairs. Leaving the light on.
Oh, you mean that smog cloud? Okay.
Yeah, leaving the light on for my way home all night.
Did you guys get anything cool for Christmas?
Cash. I don't know. That's not cool. I got Mission Possible on Blu-ray, the most recent one. So pretty excited about that.
Nice.
Oh, one thing is cool. So as you know, I'm into weird Kit Kat flavors.
Yes.
My sister went to when she was in Australia earlier this year. She went to I guess a like make your own Kit Kat factory. So she got to like pick out flavors that they would combine into a Kit Kat, design the box. So like my name is on the box. It says like Sean's Unexpected Flavors or something like that. And I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, pretty cool. I haven't tried it yet. It's still like shrink wrapped, but the flavors are hibiscus and I don't remember what the other one was.
Hibiscus.
I don't know about that one. No.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a mix. It's a mix of them.
Okay.
I forget what the second flavor of the combination is. But that was a pretty cool gift. How about you guys?
No.
I got money and pajama pants and gift card, and I got this cool thing that came in today. I got an analog Super NT. I don't know if this is on shot right now. I can't actually see my feed, but it is an HDMI 1080p Super Nintendo.
Nice.
And it is also really tiny.
Is it tinier than the SNES Classic? Wait, that doesn't look like a Super Nintendo.
It's a Super Nintendo. Here, I've only got a Japanese Super Nintendo cart to compare size-wise, but they're not that much bigger.
Am I crazy? That doesn't look like a Super Nintendo.
It's Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Where's like the buttons on the front? Like that thing looks like there's curves to it. The Super Nintendo is all boxy.
Power button, reset button.
So they don't even slide.
No, this is an aftermarket. This is the analog Super NT.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. I don't know. What's the size comparison to the SNES Classic?
SNES Classic is smaller than this, but SNES Classic's pretty small.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's cool. But wait, but the SNES Classic also does HDMI. So this is just so you can play whatever cartridge, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is an actual Super Nintendo, so I can use all the cartridges I have back there.
Okay. Sure. Right on.
Because you can't, like, you can mod the SNES Classic to play other ROMs, but it doesn't do the whole library yet. This does.
If you have the whole library.
Yeah. Which I'm close.
Right on. Cool. We're approaching the end of the year. Have you finished all your games you need to finish for your streams?
Yeah, I think you did, right? You're done the game clearing.
For game clearing, we did finish, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I meant for the game.
Okay, I thought you meant for Game of the Year discussion. I'm like, not even close.
Oh, okay.
For game clearing, yeah.
No, go ahead.
For game clearing, the goal was 64 games this year, and we are at 70. So,
okay. Do you have a plan for next year?
Yep. I thought we talked about this before. I'm gonna do A to Z. So we're gonna do.
That's right.
Yeah.
Alphabetical.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Because 26, no, 24, blah blah blah. That was the joke. Yep, got it.
Yep.
Remember, I'm all caught up.
You're caught up.
Without naming names, how many games do you have left that you really want to play, or that you actually think you'll play before Game of the Year episode?
Before Game of the Year. At this point, anything I play, I'm not finishing. It's physically impossible.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But I mean, like, ones that you plan to like get a chunk out of. And don't say names. Just give me a number.
I can see at least 3 or 4 on my shelf right now.
Okay. Cool. I think I have more than that, but I don't know if I'll get to them all.
I'll probably like load up a list of what came out when I get back from MagFest, and then be like, oh shit, let's just dedicate a couple days to these.
Sure. Or do that beforehand so you could like take portable stuff with you. All right. How about you, Paul? Do you have a number of games you need to try and hit before the show?
I have 6 owned that I haven't gotten to yet, and I have about 2 released this year that I wanted to check out that I haven't. Otherwise, I've checked out literally everything that I've wanted to check out this year.
Okay. All right. I have 1, 2. I have at least 4, 5, 6. Maybe just 6. That's less than I thought. Good.
Cool.
All right. Well, let's do a podcast about video games since we're already talking about them. This is the top-down perspective for December 27th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
Paul, what have you been playing?
I brought my PlayStation 4 up because my parents go to bed earlier than I do. So I wanted something to just kind of pick at or whatever. I also brought brought the Switch, but I bought Battlefield 1 on the PS4 because it was $5, and I was like, I could deal with like a Battlefield game on console and get back into console shooters. And man, it's hard to get back into console shooters when it's been years since you've played them. Holy hell, the aiming is so difficult.
Are you playing on a console?
Yeah, on PS4.
Yeah, it's PS4.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah.
I'm at the point now where I'm competent, but not like decent enough to make it higher than probably the top half at the very best.
Okay.
Also, like, learning the maps is a big thing as well, so I've been kind of doing that too. Battlefield 1 was pretty good. That was a pretty fun game. Go figure.
Sure.
Yeah. In contrast, I've also been playing Battlefield 5 at home on PC. And
all right, the new one.
That game is okay, but I don't like the maps as much, so it's kind of a trash fire to me. Like, it's not... It just feels like there's too many... I don't even know how to explain it, I guess, because, like, I don't play a lot of these games, so... It felt more directed in where your objective points were in Battlefield 1. In 5, they feel like they're haphazardly thrown around in some spots, and like in a lot of big open areas to just like make fighting shitty in some spots. Like, I don't know. It's hard to, like, some maps are worse than others, obviously, in this regard, but there's something about the level design that just doesn't feel like it has any personality to it. I don't know why either. Like, it's fucking weird. But that
sounds
is
like a problem with just like map layout.
It sounds like, yeah, I think it's kind of just like they have like an okay map layout and then they just throw random buildings and shit in that doesn't feel like a place, really. Like, it feels like they're trying to make a map instead of just like trying to like make a cool like gimmick or idea work out for two opposing teams to kind of fight in for the battlefield. I don't know, it's weird. That game is beautiful, though. It looks so much better somehow. I think it's just a color palette. I think pop's better. It's not using as many, like, browns and, like, kind of muted colors because it's not in, like, the dirty 30s, disgusting World War I garbage era. It's in, is it Iceland? Or, I think it's Iceland, right? That it takes place? Somewhere up north there. So there's a lot of, like, really, really nice vistas of, like, mountains and the glistening snow and all that stuff, and then also really, really nice, lush green areas as well. It's cool. It's a cool game, but there's just something off feeling about it to me, so I will probably pick it up more if people, like, I know end up playing it. So the reason why, like, I guess I'm talking about Battlefield in general is because that EA Origin Access thing, there's two different tiers to it. There's the $5 a month tier and like a $20 a month tier or whatever. The $5 a month tier, you can play like all the Battlefield games up to 5 for free. And yeah, so like you can play whatever those with your buddies or whatever for $5 a month. And then the $20 a month tier gets you access to like newer games. It's kind of like their version of Game Pass, only like way more expensive and way less cool games on it. So,
right.
As EA does. So the thing that
yeah, it's also timed, right?
I don't remember. It's called like Premiere, so that probably makes sense that it would be timed.
I'm not sure about the Premiere one. I just know because my friend had EA access, I believe it was the $5 level on Xbox. I don't know if there's 2 tiers on the Xbox version of it.
Gotcha.
But on what he had, like when Burnout Paradise came out, he was only allowed to play 20 hours of it before it would like lock.
Yeah,
that's a weird time restriction. Yeah,
that is a weird time restriction. Yeah, that's the trial versions.
But it did come out, like he got it early and he got it for free. He just... That's, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah.
I think it's the same idea here. So, Battlefield 5 is part of that, and then, of course, like, the premium content for the other Battlefield games, which is just the pay-to-win, like, better guns, like, better stats on guns and shit like that, is on that tier. That's probably how I'm going to try out Anthem, I've decided, because Anthem's going to be on that tier when it comes out. And
they have confirmed that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be on that. So
that's going to be like a service seller, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. Unless Anthem's bad, in which case it's like, well, I'm glad I didn't spend $80 Canadian on this, I guess. But yeah, go figure. Battlefield games are fun. That's the takeaway from that. Also, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I picked that up on sale because it was like 60% off or something crazy. So I was like, yeah, I'll play that. And
nice.
That game is real good. It's a really fun game. No, I didn't play Origins.
Okay, so
yeah,
Origins was real good. I understand this is more Origins.
Yeah, that's what people say for sure. So maybe I'll check out Origins at some point when it's even cheaper on sale, because you know it will be. All the Assassin's Creeds go down every year by a pretty steep amount. So Origins might be the next game next year or something. But for now, Odyssey seems like it's going to be one of those big games with a lot of things to check off your list, and I guess that's what I'll be doing in my downtime, is checking those things
that's
off.
what Origins was.
Yeah, so...
who are you playing as?
Oh my god. The female, I forgot her name.
Cassandra,
that's right, yeah.
Like 99% of the people I've talked to have played as Cassandra.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't ever want to play as dudes. I barely ever do in, like, any game if I have the option. So this wasn't any different for in that regard. There is some cool story stuff that obviously I won't talk about here, but, like, it gets into it pretty quick, and I kind of like where they're going with it. I kind of like the opening tutorial thing with the Spartans and just being like, this is dope. Like, this is a cool way to teach you mechanics, how to fight and stuff. Cool. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I've been playing, though.
All right, quick question. Are you playing Siege on Xbox?
No.
Because you keep showing up on my Xbox friends list playing Siege.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not why would I make this up?
Because you are a psycho. I don't know. It's weird, too. Because, like, I don't have an Xbox. But I have been also playing Siege on PS4 every now and then to just, like, tinker with it there, too.
I think it was earlier today.
No, like, I was playing on PC today.
Well,
do you have, like, the Xbox link on that game?
What is the Xbox link?
Well, no, like, is your Xbox Live account connected to that, Paul? Or do you not even have an Xbox Live account anymore?
No, yeah.
I don't. This has happened multiple times. You were showing up on my Xbox friends list as online playing Siege, and I keep wondering, like, he doesn't have an Xbox One. That game did not come out on the 360. Like, are you playing it maybe on like the Windows Store copy of that or something?
No, not even through Steam. Through Uplay directly.
This is so weird. There's something with your computer is connecting it all the way. Like, I wonder if it's like a Windows. Are you on Windows 10?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is my assumption. There's some Windows 10 link with like Xbox Live where if you're just playing something else, it'll just show that. Kind of like how Discord will just show you playing a game if you want.
Yeah. Weird. Oh, I'm gonna add something to this list that I didn't talk about. I played Hades, and Hades is great.
Oh, okay. Cool. Supergiant,
yeah. So
I'm excited.
Pretty much what you would probably expect from Supergiant in terms of, like, pretty good voice acting. Not a whole lot there, because it's more of a Binding of Isaac type roguelite thing than, like, an actual story-based thing. So it's more focused on the mechanics.
And it's also early access still. So.
And it's early access, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
I'd actually be pretty bummed if there wasn't, like, some good storytelling in this, because they always do such a good job at that.
I mean, there's decent storytelling stuff, but, like, it's not story-centric, I would say. Much less so than even, like, Pyre. Like, Pyre, it seemed like the mechanical, like, game part was tacked on to a good story. This seems like there's probably a decent story tacked on to a Binding of Isaac Rogue Legacy combination where you have, like, every time you die, you get sent back to the beginning of, like, the center of Hades or whatever. Of hell with Hades chamber. And yeah, it just, like, procedurally generates enemies and layouts for you to try to escape from hell, basically. And along the way, you'll gain currency to buy upgrades to get stronger, to, like, do better on runs, and then, of course, just learning how to play the game better and, like, timings of, like, dodging and all that sort of stuff. It's pretty much what you would expect. It feels really good, though, and it has that polish that Supergiant games have, so I'm pretty stoked about it. I think it's really, really good, but I do hope that they keep adding more. It's always a little thing in the back of my mind that's just, like, early access. Like, DayZ just came out last week, so that was only 5 years after I cared, and, like, most of the world cared. And I just hope that, like, there isn't more of that. But they seem to be pretty good about it. Every time you load up Hades, the screen comes up and it says, like, patch notes of what we've added, like, most recently. And then there's a big thing in the corner that says next big patch expected in, like, 32 days or whatever. So it seems like they have a timeline and they, like, know how to stick to it. And I think by, like, actually just putting that stuff right there all the time for all their players, it might hold them accountable to it, and which I think is good as well. But yeah, I guess not a whole lot to say. If you like hack and slash isometric games with like a roguelite progression to it, and like of course beautiful art style and stuff, then you should probably check it out. It's really, really good.
I've decided this is going to be kind of my like Dead Cells. I hear such good things about the early access version, but I want to wait till it's out.
That's kind of what I'm feeling too. Because I remember in one of I was playing Dead Cells for a bit, and then they wiped it because then they went into beta, and it's just like, well, I just lost all the shit I unlocked. Like, it's such a bad feeling, and I just feel like this is going to happen in this game. So I'm also kind of pushing it away a little bit, but I don't know. I've broken my vow a few times and played it here and there. It's
cool.
good. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. John?
Smash. I played more Smash. I finally started single player.
Nice.
All right. What do you think of
It's all right.
What is it? World of Light.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I was already playing the Spirit board, so I already knew what to expect. But now it's just like, here's a slower version of that where you can't use the character you are the best with for a long time until you find.
What is Spirit board?
It's the option literally right next to Adventure. Spirit board is like a bulletin board of like up to 10 of those challenges. But you can pick any character you want to play as to do them.
Is this the thing that like if you finish 30 matches, like the thing breaks open, like the mosaic?
No.
Okay.
You really haven't seen the Spirit board option?
No.
You've done World of Light though, right? Or you've played at least a bit of it.
I played World of Light.
Literally in the menu when you click Spirits, there's Adventure and Spirit board.
I don't think I ever looked on the right side much.
Yeah, no.
Great. There's even more in there. Sweet. Cool.
Yeah, Spirit board is literally just the challenges. They're on timers. You get one shot at them, then they disappear. They'll come back eventually later. They're on like 5-minute timers. You can play as anyone that you've got unlocked in the game so far. So it's not tied to whoever you have unlocked in World of Light. It's whoever you have unlocked in the game, period.
Right.
Your spirits and stuff carry over from all modes. So I actually did a bunch of those to level up my spirits, then went into hard mode World of Light. So I'm playing that on hard, but I already have a bunch of strong spirits to kind of balance that out.
It's pretty easy to level up your spirits. They give you so many like snacks.
Yeah. But like starting like I said, I don't have Ike or Falcon, like the guys I'm super used to playing as.
Okay.
So I still have Kirby and DK who I've been playing with because
Kirby is awesome.
Yeah, but he's not who I'm used to.
Yeah.
I like Kirby a lot.
So muscle memory's like, all right, this is cool and all, but like, where's all my range? I like that I can actually fly back to the stage at least.
Yep. Have you played classic mode?
Yes.
That's my jam.
I beat a couple of those. I liked what they've done with classic mode.
Classic mode is cool.
Yeah. I still like that game. I think that's a good game, and it's definitely going to be on a lot of people's top 10 lists, I think, this year. Especially those Nintendo-centric ones, because it's pretty well done.
And it's it's like one of the 2 games Nintendo put out this year.
They put out a bunch this year, I thought.
Tennis.
Yeah, which was overseas.
WarioWare Gold. Okay.
Yeah.
That mobile game that I played for a couple weeks.
Yep.
Which I don't remember the name of.
Dragalia Lost.
Yep, there you go.
Which still isn't out in Canada, I don't think.
No, not officially.
Thank God.
Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah. Super Mario Party, Octopath Traveler, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
I didn't even think of Octopath Traveler, but sure, yeah, that makes sense. Tropical Freeze barely counts.
Yeah,
Anyway,
they didn't release as much cool stuff as last year, but they still released some good stuff.
Oh, sure. I mean, you can't compare it to last year. In terms of like their big kind of like tentpole franchises and whatnot, it's mainly Mario Tennis and Smash. I guess Mario Party
and Pokemon.
Sure, you're right. Pokemon. That's true. I totally forgot about Pokemon. Okay, that's what I've been playing then.
Yep. Well, I've been playing our Patreon game, but can't talk about that yet.
Not yet. Okay, I've been playing a bunch because I missed last week.
Yeah.
Starting with Mutant Year Zero: Road to Eden, which might be, in my opinion, one of the worst video game names ever.
I mean, at least it doesn't have the word battle in it, but yeah.
Sure. Yep. You're totally right there. Even just Mutant Year Zero, that's not even like a full proper sentence.
Every time I've said the title Mutant Year Zero, I've had to lengthily describe what it is to everybody.
Yeah.
So
So you've already been playing it. This came out on Game Pass.
Yes.
Early this month, around the Game Award time, I believe. I'm not super far into it, but I probably put 6 or 7 hours.
Sure.
Yeah. For those who don't know, even though Paul's talked about it, it is a XCOM similar game, tactics battle with a focus on stealth. There's a stealth aspect before each fight. So if tactics fighters if the only tactics fighters you've played are things like Fire Emblem, think about before getting into each of those battles, if you had control over your party of 3 and you could walk around the area and take on enemies one at a time to try and make the overall fight easier.
Yeah.
And you definitely have to do this because this game is hard.
There is some bullshit going on for sure in this game. Yeah.
It is I'm struggling. I'm surprised how hard it is. So first off, they do the dumb thing where they say play on hard mode. That's the recommended for people who play video games. And it's well, then call that normal, you idiots. What are you doing?
I'm with you.
So I was like, okay, I will play on hard, which is the medium recommended one. Started getting my ass kicked on the third fight, maybe.
Is it the one near the hut? Did you get to the hut with the dude? I don't remember his name even. You're looking for a guy. It's on the way to the city. It's the one right before or after you go to the main city.
The arc. It was somewhere around that, before or after. What was it was where they introduced the medbot. The first time I came across a medbot.
Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of enemies there. And I couldn't take out many of them. They weren't they were all in a group, and there was 2 dogs as well. And then anyway, so I had to switch it down to normal, which is their easy mode for people who don't play games. That's almost word to word how they describe it. And I'm still having to make sure I am on my shit if I want to get through this stuff. It is weird how hard this game is.
It's super fucking difficult. Yeah.
So what you can do is you have weapons. Some of them are silenced, so you got to make sure all of your enemies, your characters, have a silenced weapon. And some of the enemies will group together around a fire. Some of them will walk around and kind of scout the area. And you want to attack the enemies that are by themselves. And when you choose to ambush them, you then enter a tactics grid style fight. And you can take them on one against your 3 party members, and you can kind of pick off enemies you kind of have to circle around the area a few times, taking off whoever you can until you realize, okay, now I just need to fight that group all in, because as soon as I shoot one of them, they're going to all see that.
Yeah.
And then apart from that, you're scavenging garbage out of on the ground and broken weapon parts that you can use to buy things at the Ark. I'm enjoying it for the most part. I think my favorite thing is just the writing and the setting of it. So it's set in a post-apocalyptic future, but it is Earth. So you'll come across things. I think one of my favorite one is I came across an iPod. Okay. And the little descriptor thing was that it was I heard words that people used to listen to music through fruit, because these were just referred to as Apple devices.
Yeah.
So and stuff like that. So they have a bit of a concept of what these things could be, but they're not 100% sure how the ancients, who are us, use them. So they come across a boombox. And they think it's some kind of grenade because it's called a boombox. Or they come across a microwave and stuff like that, and they've heard rumors of how these things might work and whatnot. And they're usually wrong for the most part, and it's funny, and I enjoy that. You have a character in your party named Ducks, and he's a duck. You take a duck. Although he is the first party member I've removed because I just got the guy that can mind control people, and he seems extremely useful.
Sure.
How far did you get into it, Paul?
I'm probably where you said that you were starting to have difficulty is probably where I last left off as well.
Okay, so you don't even have the mind control dude, because I'm a little after that guy. I'm enjoying it for the most part. I wish it'll have like sub areas that you can go off to the side, like little side areas, which is highly recommended to do because, like I said, any chance you get to level up your guys, do it. I wish those areas had a better indication of kind of what level you should be when you go into, because sometimes you'll come across them and they'll be like, yo, this area is a level 35, and it's like, oh, I am not going there for a long time. And then some areas they just won't tell you, and you'll walk in there and you'll come across someone who's like level 40, and it's like, I need to leave right now. I kind of wish they would just tell you each time, like, hey, this is level 20, this is 25. So I had kind of a more indication of like, okay, this is the path I should probably be going if I want to go to and level up all my guys like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a definitely great thing to get for free. Quite enjoying that. If you have Game Pass, I should say. Continuing with that, I'm still playing Ashen, another Game Pass game. That I'm having a lot of fun going through Ashen as like the most I've ever played a Dark Souls style brawler fighter or whatever. Again, it's co-op, which is probably the reason I am sticking with it. I will say the third boss is there's this dungeon you have to go through that seems like a crazy weird difficulty spike, and then it gets back to normal after that. So that was a little off-putting. But I seem to be in like the last chunk of the game. And I remember when I mentioned this before, I was saying I am not a big fan of the color palette. They've completely changed the color palette. This last area is really nice and really and huge. So again, I would recommend Ashen quite a bit, especially if you're not like a Souls person. Maybe give this a try. Certainly if you have a friend who also has access to it, and again, it's on Game Pass. So if you and your friend have Game Pass, you can both jump into that. But yeah, Ashen's pretty cool. Ashen's pretty cool. Just this week, I started playing a new mobile game that was recommended on Twitter, I found, called Grimvalor, or Grimvalor. I don't know, it's one word. And first off, this is a game that has the button controls on the screen, which is usually like a total turn-off for me when it comes to mobile games.
They've gotten better about them. I've played a few in the last year or two that have those, and they feel not as shitty as I remember those feeling.
Okay. I'm still feeling like at all times I'm not quite wrestling with the controls, but I could just tell this would be so much better if I had a controller.
Sure. Yeah.
Just, not having any kind of feedback on the buttons or anything like that. Sometimes I'm accidentally hitting jump when I wanted to do a dodge. So it's just stuff like that that's kind of annoying. But anyway, with all that aside, this is a incredibly fleshed out action fighter, side-scrolling action fighter, similar to like a like a Castlevania or like a Dead Cells, something like that in that genre. It's not a roguelike. It does have like you are picking up souls, but it's not a Souls game in which when you die you need to go back to your body and scoop all that stuff out. Right. I just remembered another game I've been playing. I'm going to write down before I forget. Sorry about that. Okay, what was I saying? So, oh, come on, get me the chat again.
That just seems to be like... I was actually having a discussion with somebody about this last week. That just seems to be a thing that games do now, specifically like RPG games. That's not even really what I consider a Souls-like formula thing, where you collect a currency of some sort that you trade for levels and or increasing your equipment, like upgrades or whatever. Like that just seems to be, and then you lose them if you die. That just seems to be the way a lot of things go.
But I feel like it kind of came from Dark Souls, the idea of like you need to go back to your body, and if you die in that process, those are gone forever.
Really? Because I've been playing MMOs for a long time, and that's always been the way those have gone.
I definitely don't have the MMO experience.
It's kind of a shitty thing when you think about it that way too. Just working so long, so hard for something, and then you lose it.
Right. I guess it's better than just losing it altogether. Like, at least there's a chance to get it back.
That makes it even worse when you lose.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But anyways, yeah. So Grimvalor, it doesn't have that. It is just a side-scrolling, I don't know, hack and slasher. But it looks really good. The controls they're pretty well designed for a mobile thing, so you can just kind of hold down the attack button and you'll continue to slash, which is really nice when you're like, jump in the air at an enemy, and then you can kind of slash and hover in the air while you're attacking them. You start with a double jump, which is always great in my book as the #1 video game ability in the world. Double jump.
Mm-hmm.
You get a really good dodge where the person will do like a cool like dashing cartwheel behind the person, and then you can attack them again. The enemies all spark when they're about to attack. And then there's like a ton of items in there. You want to get like you can unlock stronger swords. You get to have 2 weapons at a time. So if you press down on the attack button and then swipe in any direction, you'll do a different kind of attack, whether it's like a downward smash, like a dashing slash, an uppercut kind of attack. There's secrets to be had. There's bosses in each level. I've probably put in about 3.5 hours, and I'm only at the beginning of Act 3 out of 5, so it's pretty lengthy too. You can upgrade your different stats. There's armor. It is like a fully fleshed out hack and slash game I'm actually quite enjoying on the iOS. Unfortunately, it is only on iOS.
Yep.
It's not on Android yet, which is a bummer.
Yep.
But I would definitely recommend it for people to check out. At least as far as yesterday, it was still 60% off, so it was $2. So if you're listening to this and this sounds interesting, maybe check it out. Otherwise, it's typically $5. So, but yeah, that's Grimvalor, and even though the controls aren't the best, I think it handles them pretty well enough that I haven't been like completely turned off.
Damn, I'm pretty upset. I can't play this. All right.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm assuming it's going to come to other stuff later. It also seems like one of those games that just kind of might show up on Steam.
On Steam?
Sooner or later.
I agree.
Especially because I understand this is one of the few games on iOS that actually supports Bluetooth controllers.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play my phone with a Bluetooth controller. I'm not insane. But yeah, that's not going to happen. But that is, I keep your eye out for Grimvalor. That's a cool thing. Moving along, I have been playing Tetris Effect.
Nice. What do you think?
Yeah, Tetris Effect is a cool game. I've only played a little bit in VR, mostly because when I want to play Tetris, it's usually like, let's just play some Tetris right now, and I don't want to like get out my stool, get the headset on, switch everything over, make sure it's all set up properly.
Yeah.
So I would say 90% of my time with Tetris Effect has been not VR, but that is just a damn good version of Tetris.
Hell yeah, it is.
It looks great. It sounds great. The controller's constantly just like pulsing with the music. I love that on a lot of the stages, every action you take makes some kind of musical sound that just works with the song.
Do you have any layout so far that seems to be your favorite? Or any skin, whatever they call it in this game?
Sure. So I've only been playing through journey mode. So I'm sure I haven't seen them all. I'm about 3/4 of the way through journey mode. And I understand there's like weekly challenges and stuff. Where do you find those?
So those are, I believe, every Saturday in like the afternoon.
Oh, it's only once a week?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was like for a whole week you can play this and then there's a new one. Oh, that's a bummer.
It's like half a day on a Saturday or on a Friday, one of the two.
Okay.
You have to go into the other mode, which I forget what it's actually called. Not journey mode. It's the other option, which is, I guess, might be all the other modes.
Is that the one that it was originally just question marks?
No. So on the main menu.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of the journey mode question marks, which you'll unlock later.
Yeah, I still have the question marks, so I don't know, but I do know the other option that you're talking about now. I haven't messed around too much.
Where like classic mode and all the other stuff is, yeah.
Okay.
It'll show up there, and like the first thing you'll see when you log into that site is like, hey, it's like there's a weekly ritual going on right now. Like,
okay.
Play these modes and earn points to unlock this effect or feature or avatar or whatever they want to do.
Okay. Going back to your question, I don't think I have a favorite at the moment. I need to replay some ones just to kind of focus a bit more on the skin as opposed to just the blocks flying down.
The actual gameplay. That's fair.
Yeah, I've found that at the moment, I was gonna say at the moment, speed level 8 is like my limit. Anything above that, it starts getting too much for me. Although I think on my last session of play, I was getting up to around 10, where it was feeling like my limit. So I am definitely getting better at it. But I would say for right now, 8 is like my comfort zone.
That's fair. I can't wait till you get to try out like the master mode. Master mode, you're gonna be like, what the hell? Why?
Sure, I'm excited. From the skins I do remember, I like the city one that's kind of all jazzy because every action you take is like a jazz instrument note. That's in like the second set from Journey mode, I believe.
Yep.
And I also like the windmill one from the first set in the Journey mode, just because it looks so different than the other ones. It's not a neon like glowing whale or whatever. It's just windmills and all the pieces are cogs. So I just kind of like how different that one is.
I'd say my favorite one is the fire one, which you should have seen already.
I thought I've seen maybe a couple fire ones.
It should be like in the second set. It's the
Is that the one with like people like bowing to it?
Yes, that one.
Okay.
That one's got my favorite song.
Okay, I'll have to replay that one and remember the songs. I don't.
The only other one I would argue that I like as much, if not more, is the Master Mode skin, but I'm pretty sure you have to beat Master Mode to unlock it, which is a nightmare.
Right. I have also seen the original Game Boy one online, and I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, I think you got to be level 50 to get that, unfortunately.
Cool. I think I'm level like 11 right now.
Yeah, no, leveling up is pretty slow in that game. I haven't touched it in a while, and I ended at like 18.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. But yeah, it's just a good-ass version of Tetris. I'm glad I got it on sale, because it was on sale for $20. It was half price when I picked it up. Yeah, that was pretty exciting. Continuing on, I've started up Destiny 2 again. I'm on to the second section of the DLC, Warmind. Don't have a whole lot to say about that. It seems fine. I just kind of want to get to Forsaken because I understand that's when the extremely cool stuff starts. But I want to like level up more. I don't want to use their like little item they give you to get to a suitable level. I want to play all of it. They have a Christmas event right now, which seems lame for the most part.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But the main hub area at least has snow falling, and you can throw a snowball at nothing.
Okay,
if you want.
Awesome!
Hooray!
Yep. Speaking of winter updates, Moonlighter got a random just Christmas update. The main town is just snowy and has presents everywhere. It doesn't do anything, but
nice.
That was nice to see. That's always fun. And then the last game, I put a good chunk of time into Below. Cappy's Below.
Okay.
This came out on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an absolute get for Microsoft.
What do you think?
I'm curious, Paul, did you check out Below?
I did not. No.
This seems like something you would be into.
Okay.
So for those who don't know, Cappy, makers of Super Time Force, made something completely different. Whereas Super Time Force is bright and colorful and full of laughs, this is dark and bleak and pretty much actually it's entirely silent.
It's not the Quiet Man.
It's not Quiet Man silent, but there's no text, there's no audio like language. It is just sound effects and atmospheric music.
Okay.
I've been hearing a lot of people comparing it to Zelda. I don't think that's accurate. I would compare it more to just any kind of isometric dungeon crawler.
Okay.
So like, the dungeon areas of Moonlighter, for example, came to mind just because I've been playing Moonlighter. first off, it is definitely going for like a tone and a feeling. You are way pulled back the camera, so your character is real small that you can barely make out kind of how they look. And it's a roguelike in the sense that you come ashore to this island, and then you just start going deeper and deeper into it. There's a big emphasis on light, where you have a lantern and you need to kind of walk around procedurally generated levels of the dungeon as you go deeper, finding some kind of like shards or tokens. It's also how I feel a Souls-like is in terms of when you die, you need to go recollect your body.
Sure.
You actually have to do it this time. Even if you die again, the corpse will still be there because your lantern stays there, and you need that lantern to open up certain doors through the use of magic or something.
Okay.
You can make torches, but that will take away your shield hand. So on the triggers, you have right trigger is your sword, left trigger is your shield or the lantern or the torch, and then right bumper is the dash or the like dodge backwards. And yeah, it's just a run based, like get as deep as you can. There's different enemies and whatnot. It's extremely obtuse in which it doesn't point you anywhere at any point. You literally have no idea what you're doing when you start the game. You just have to kind of walk along the only path until you start finding a door, and then you just start walking around. You can come across campfires, which will eventually warp you into some like dream state that will allow you to put items in chests for future runs to pick up.
Okay.
So that's the only kind of like carrying over you can have, except for like the tokens that you're trying to collect for whatever reason. Like I said, the game doesn't talk to you in any way. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know anything about anything in this game.
Mm-hmm.
My problem is I'm not really finding it all that fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going for this specifically, but I am constantly just always on like edge of like I definitely feel lost, and that they want me to feel like that, despite me having a decent map, and it's not fully procedurally generated. The floors, there will be like exits and specific staircases will still be in the same location. Like they'll always kind of be off to the left if that's where it was before. But then how you get to that exit will be different. Like the in-betweens will be different. There'll be traps and stuff, so you have to you definitely want to have a light source open so that you can see, because a lot of those traps are just one-hit kills, which can really suck in a game that is all about get as far as you can with all these items.
Yeah.
Having like spikes just pop out really sucks. Luckily, the enemies can get hit by the traps as well, which is nice to see. A lot of the time games will have like floor damage, but only for you for some reason. So yeah, I'm definitely, I haven't played it for about a week and a half. I don't think I'm going to go back to it. I think my time with it is kind of done. It just kind of did not leave a great first impression. And I kind of just wish I was having more fun with it. Or even just like a little more direction. And that might be just a personal thing, because I'm sure there will be people that kind of like just how open and how like unforgiving the quest line is or whatever.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to have some kind of purpose, some kind of like, like, hey, try and get to here, or because a lot of the times I don't even know when I come across something weird. Am I missing something? Am I missing an item? Am I supposed to be coming back with something later? Is this actually nothing? And it gives me no kind of ideas of whether or not I'm like doing well, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, they also have survival mechanics in there. So there's a hunger, a thirst, and a warmth mechanic.
Uh-huh.
I haven't run into any scenarios yet where I've had those get lowered.
Okay.
Too bad. Because water is pretty easy to find. Anytime you kind of come across a puddle, you can fill up your bottle. You can eat almost any... Because anytime you kill an enemy, you can like
scavenge their corpse for like food and or rocks or bones to craft. There's a crafting mechanic that they don't tell you how to craft anything. You just have to kind of select an item, and then other ones will light up if they can be combined. So you have to start kind of remembering how to make bandages, how to make torches, how to make arrows.
Sure.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like the style of game for me. But every achievement is 100 points, so you get a couple of those, and you've gotten 500 achievement points.
I was waiting for the catch.
Yeah, waiting for a silver lining.
There's a silver lining. I don't know if I'd call it a catch because it's not enticing me to play anymore. I'm pretty much done with Below.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because Cappy has been working on this game for like 6 years or something like that.
So, do they ever? I'm looking at a bunch of screenshots and like reviews and stuff. It's pretty split down the board for reviews. There are people that like it. There are people that don't. I'm reading some other reviews while listening to you. It sounds like they are trying too hard to go for a combination of things that maybe inherently don't work well together. Like the idea of a roguelite progression or lack thereof with a Dark Souls thing, it doesn't feel like you ever have that moment like in a Souls game or in like a hard roguelite where you have that moment of I made it to this point and now I can continue to get stronger. It sounds like it just kind of always is like, let's see how far we can get, and that sounds shitty to me. But the most important thing I have to ask you is, are there any locations that don't look dreary and kind of crappy? Like, all these screenshots look boring.
So I understand there are different biomes. Like, the second biome is like an ice area. I never got to there. I'm still in, like, the rock, dark, wet cave.
That's what I'm seeing here. It's like, this looks... I hope there's more.
Yeah. So I guess there will be more if you kind of muscle through. I just don't want to do that. I don't want to have to muscle through to the next part. You can also... So there is a kind of currency that you can spend on making warps to where you're at. So if you some of the campfires will let you spend about 25 of these items, and these items pop off of enemies you've killed.
Okay.
They're also the currency to keep the lantern going, which is a bummer. Just kind of like it over time, it eats from there. But you can then make a one-time use warp. So if you start the game again, you can warp back to whatever the last campfire that you activated this warp on. Which that can be fine. Although if you do that, you're going to kind of run into the scenario of having like not a lot of gear at a later stage than you might want. Like you might you won't have all your fire arrows or anything or all the bandages you've crafted if you use that right away. So that's kind of weird. It kind of reminds me of if you think about like Spelunky or even Dead Cells.
Yeah.
You know, if you get all the way to like the second last stage or whatever, you're going to have quite a lot of gear with you.
Sure.
And if you die there, if they gave you the option to start back at where you died at your beginning state, you would not want to do that because you would be under-leveled. You would not have enough items to progress very far.
Sure,
so
but
you kind of need the whole run to be ready for that end part.
But I would argue just having the elevator guy or whatever, the dude to open those up in general gives you some progression to shoot for. It's
so that well, it's not permanent though. It's one-time use. So let's say I make it to level 6.
Honestly, it sounds like a lot of bad decisions that don't gel well together. Like the more it sounds like they wanted to do something and maybe they did it, but to me, it just doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't sound like it works to me. And it's obviously, or maybe not obviously, but it sounds like it didn't work for you.
Yeah. And again, I think I want to reiterate the fact of it doesn't seem like a me game,
sure.
Which seems accurate because you're seeing a lot of differing reviews. I could definitely see this being for someone because there are definitely people who like just not getting handheld at all, just like know wanting up a tough game.
It looks bad tough though. Like there's a bunch of darkness and then a monster attacks this guy and he's dead. Like that's not fun.
I wouldn't say monster. Like again, the traps can be kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
The monsters for the most part they glow, so you know when they're coming. There will be new monsters that you'll have to kind of figure out their attack patterns, which
Sure.
that has a learning curve to it.
Sure.
I think the big thing is the first few hours are so obtuse and they're not explaining enough that it is hard to feel a sense of progression and wanting to keep going with it is my takeaway from it. It doesn't have a great intro. And like I said, there's different biomes I've never been to, so maybe it gets better when you kind of wrap your mind around it. But the beginning has just kind of turned me off.
And survival mechanics, really? Like, fuck off.
Yeah, it's weird that those are in there.
It's the hot thing.
I guess. Is it still? I guess.
No, but games keep doing it. It's frustrating.
Hey, DayZ came out last week, though, right?
Hooray! Finally.
State of Decay 2 had them as well, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Again, like I said, I haven't had much of an issue with the survival mechanics, but kind of always having that in the back of my head is like, well, I guess I should hang on to another bottle of water just in case.
I will say this ice
just
biome
weird,
looks much nicer already, because it's just like not a dank shitty cave. It's a cave, but it's not a shitty cave, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
It's one of them nice caves.
It's a nice cave, yeah.
Someone put up a chandelier and some curtains. It's great.
Bring home to mother.
But yeah, so that's Below. Again, it's on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass, you might as well check it out.
Cool.
All right, let's move on to some news. A lot of this news is from the week before when I wasn't here, and I just still had it saved.
Okay, cool.
First off, we got the PlayStation Plus games for next month. Once this loads, we're gonna get Steep and Portal Knights for the PS4. We're gonna get Zone of Enders HD Collection and Amplitude for the PS3.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to get Fallen Legion, Flames of Rebellion, and Super Mutant Alien Assault for the Vita.
I'm excited about Zone of Enders HD Collection. I will definitely check. I've been wanting to check that out, but I haven't been wanting to just buy it, so this is perfect.
Continuing with that, let's look at the games with gold, which I think is both very good and pretty dumb for next month.
Yeah.
First off, we're getting Celeste. So
yes,
that's awesome.
That is good.
Celeste is great.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't played Celeste, you will get it for somewhat free next month. We're also getting some car-focused game called WRC6.
Yep.
World Rally Championship.
I could not tell you anything about this series of games, but there's been at least 6 of them. Okay.
Right.
We're also getting Far Cry 2
too.
on the 360.
Wait, really?
That's so weird. What a weird... Yeah.
Here's something even weirder. We are getting Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light for the 360.
Not even the newer one.
Which, hang on.
Yeah.
Was released as games with gold years ago.
Yep. That's true.
This is literally the first time they have repeated a game.
Wait, actually? There's no way
Yes.
that's just the first time. I feel like that should have happened way sooner.
And I feel like this game may have been the culprit like 5 times.
I don't think this should have happened way sooner. Why would I want a repeat game?
Well, I'm not saying what it should have. I'm just saying I'm surprised it hasn't happened.
Yeah. I understand, I'm sure there was tons of people who didn't have gold back then, so they'll be getting it. But I did. So this is only 3 new games for me. One more reason why Game Pass is better than games with gold.
Life is hard, man.
Yep. It's just game.
2019. I thought it was supposed to be better than 2018.
It's not already.
We're starting with this shit.
Okay. Discord after Epic Games came out with their 88-12 split.
Yeah.
88-12. Discord was like, you know what? In 2019, we're doing a 90-10 split. Hey, competition is clearly good for everyone.
Just the way that is. 190. Fuck off. You assholes.
$1, Bob. $1.
Hey,
yeah, exactly.
It's a race
Price
to the
is
bottom.
Right to them.
Exactly. It's a race to the bottom. This is how consumerism works. This is good for developers. Like,
Yeah,
this-
it is for sure.
so, I think they even came out with like the head on their Twitter statement, basically saying, it barely even costs like 10% to put out a game in 2018. Or no, it was something like it doesn't cost 30% or it doesn't cost 12. They were basically just saying like you can do it for cheaper and we'll show you. So
Probably doesn't even cost 10 if we're gonna be real and serious, but yeah, I get where they're going. 10,
yeah, they say the
90,
they say
10,
the
why
remaining
not
10%
90? Yeah.
covers our operating costs and we'll explore lowering it by optimizing our tech and making things more efficient. So maybe it'll get even lower.
Why not 99.1? We are the 1%. Hashtag 1%.
I guess good going, Discord. I wonder how the other ones will respond.
Steam is just gonna be like, whatever. Have fun losing money.
I'm sure that's exactly what Steam's going to be doing.
Oh, good times.
Reggie Fils-Aimé spoke to the not Wall Street. Was it Hollywood Reporter? What was the place? Hollywood Reporter, yes. Just about kind of the Switch and Nintendo at the moment. And there was just an interesting quote in here saying that the NES and SNES, once they have sold out of their current stock, will be gone. That's it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So the specific quote is, we've also been clear that at least from an America's perspective, these products are going to be available through the holiday season, and once they sell out, they're gone, and that's it. So basically what I just said. So if you've been thinking about getting a NES or SNES Classic and waiting, don't wait too much longer. They won't be around for much more.
Yeah.
And we were just talking before the show that the PlayStation Classic is a joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was seriously considering if it goes cheap enough, I might pick one up to rip it apart, use the shell for a Raspberry Pi with every
I've been hearing that's the way to actually do it now.
Yeah.
There was some article or video that got put out recently that stated that apparently the emulators that you can put on the SNES Classic are better at running PlayStation 1 games than the PlayStation Classic.
Oh my god. They fucked it up so bad. Jesus.
I'm impressed how well they dropped the ball on this one. Like that takes effort to screw it up that bad.
Every time.
Like you have to try.
Every time we talked about it, it got worse somehow. It started off awesome, then it got worse and worse and worse, and now we're here at the lowest.
Well, I think it just got worse and worse as we learned more and more about it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like for those who want like a quick comparison, the NES and SNES Classic have never once gone on discount. Not once in their entire life. So the PlayStation Classic currently can be bought for $60 American or Canadian, which would be about $45 American.
Yeah, I thought I saw it for like 50 American like yesterday, or that might have just been a Boxing Day sale, but yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, no, that thing dropped price in less than a month, which is insane. Like I think they expected to do way better than they did, and then they realized like no one wanted it because of how they did everything.
Yeah, and I keep thinking like, man, 45, like why don't I get one of those? And then I keep thinking like it runs the games bad. Like it would be a bad way to play these games. Well, I know there's no reason to get this thing except for like modding it, which is something I don't have the patience to research and figure out how to do. But yeah. Oh, Ghost Kid in the chat is saying with a special app discount, you can get the PlayStation Classic for under $40 at Target right now. He's correct. I do remember seeing that. So, Winged Wolf has a good question. What went wrong exactly? Is it just the games list?
That's that was the first problem that we had.
Where would we start on this? So a bunch of the games on there are PAL versions, so they run at 50 hertz instead of 60. So basically, they run slower,
including like fighting games. Like Tekken is one of them. It's literally a slowed down version of the game.
That was the first big thing. A lot of games that people wanted on there weren't on there. Like
no power cord. That's right. Oh my.
Oh, it also didn't come with a power cord. I forgot about that.
It didn't have like the USB thing.
No.
Oh, I could have sworn it did.
And the other big one was a lot of the kind of emulation. It was running it bad, like a lot of how it was showing the images. Scan lines were done poorly. If you want like a really comprehensive and well put together breakdown, Digital Foundry has like a 20-minute video, as per usual, but going in real depth of like what is wrong with this and like why it is like such poor quality. So I would definitely point you there. Basically, kind of what we just said, but in like actual detail, with examples and whatnot.
Yep.
Moving on, Life is Strange 2 Episode 2 comes out January 24th, so I'm excited.
Yep. I mean, Episode 1 is one of the 6 that I have ready to go, just haven't gotten to yet. So
nice. I'd recommend that. That's a good quick one to do. It's like 3 hours or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we got a few from Discord for some news topics. Someone basically just kind of wanted to hear what we thought about Fortnite stealing all these people's dances. So for those who don't know, obviously there's a lot of pop culture related dance emotes in Fortnite, and a number of, I don't want to say artists, a number of
Pop culture.
Pop culture icons. Or
I feel like even that's a strong word for it.
It's a strong word for some of them, yeah. A number of people have come forward saying like, hey, I came up with this dance and you are selling it for money. I should be getting it. And there are now 3 lawsuits against Epic. The 3 I know of are the Carlton dance.
Yep.
The
The
floss.
floss dance.
The floss dance from Backpack Kid, which I did not realize that's where flossing came from.
That's not where it came from, but he did it famously. He memed it.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
He memed
All
it
right.
on Ellen, didn't he?
Yes.
No, it was Katy Perry, wasn't it?
Oh, no,
Oh.
you're right, Katy Perry.
So,
and
it's
Glad you're up on
basically.
your dances, Sean.
Yeah.
is it 2 Milli or for the Milli Rock? The rapper 2 Milli, something like that?
I don't actually know.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Those are the ones that currently have lawsuits going against Fortnite. There's a number of other people that have come up and spoken about it. For example, that guy from Scrubs. He got
JD?
upset. Nope. Turk.
Oh, Turk. Okay.
I forget his name. He's upset. Specifically, also because these emotes look exactly identical to the dances. Epic didn't put any kind of twist on them. So yeah, what are our thoughts on this?
If Fortnite wasn't as popular as it is, this is a non-issue. People are just trying to get theirs. That's all it is.
100%. 100%.
So
That's true.
there is a real-life lawyer YouTuber I follow, and he did a video on this. His name is Legal Eagle. It's kind of a dumb name, but his videos are dope as hell. Basically, he's not, like, he didn't give an opinion because he's a lawyer. So he just gave the facts. The facts are, you can, copyright law can protect choreographies. Social dance moves like the Waltzer Macarena are not protected. It depends on how the jury or lawyers or whatever kind of go at this, and the judge's ruling. So not exactly, he's not even exactly sure what they're going to go under. I don't think he cares, frankly, because he is a professional person talking about Fortnite on YouTube. But
Well, now here's the thing. Apparently, the Flossing Kid actually did some promo work for Epic for Fortnite. So apparently, his lawsuit is fucked. Because I'm sure they had some sort of clause being like, "Hey,
Yeah.
we're working with you, so maybe don't sue us." There's got to be something like that in there. But as for the other two, you're right. It's only happening because it's a popular game right now. Because apparently someone put out a list of like how many games had the Carlton dance in it, and of course none of them are getting sued. They've all been out for years. It's only
Right.
because Fortnite's popular.
Plenty of them. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Destiny has it, and plenty of other ones. It is just because Fortnite's popular, but that's also the other way to interpret that is, so a lot of money is being made off of this person's dance.
sure.
Where if it wasn't popular, no money would be making off this dance. It wouldn't have come across as that much of a deal.
Especially because
now
it's
they're
a real money thing. It's an emote in the battle pass and stuff, which is real money. So, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
true.
What I don't know enough about the legal side of any of this. I'm kind of curious for things like specifically like the Carlton dance. Wouldn't the studio own the rights to that? And
Now
not him?
that's an interesting thing because apparently also the Carlton dance. I was reading up on this.
He stole it
Yeah, he stole it from someone else, like
from Monica from Friends. I can't remember her name. Courtney Cox was in a Bruce Springsteen video, and she did kind of the little arm dance, and he just basically exaggerated it more.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep.
So like, a lot of these have weird legal grounds that I'm not even sure they even will win on.
Yeah,
It's definitely a money grab, but like, it's interesting to see what's going to happen for like things in the future for like game taunts and stuff, because this could mean those go away in other games, not just Fortnite.
Yeah, it's weird too. Like, I highly recommend people check out this Legal Eagle guy. If not just for this video, like to shed some light on it. He also does like some like opinions or like what a real lawyer thinks of like these law like parts in shows or movies and stuff. And he's kind of
He's that guy. Okay,
he's that guy. Yeah, he's started to blow up. Like, he's doing Fortnite content, so of course he's blowing up now. I found it interesting that social dance moves like the waltz or Macarena are not considered protected. That was interesting to me. But like actual choreographed things where a company like hired a bunch of people or a lead dancer to like teach this thing, that can be copywritten. So it's weird, man. I don't think these will fall under it. I think they're more under the social dance thing. But
I'm more surprised that the Macarena wouldn't have been copywritten, considering
Right?
how big of a hit that was.
right? It's probably also just one of those things of like, where's it based? Since every state has different legislation, and you can go in this whole like terrible rabbit hole of red tape.
So what you're saying is you've been reading up on this for a while, and it's crazy.
Well, just on legal shit in general. Yeah, it's crazy how far all of it goes. So this was no surprise. I don't think they are going to get through, especially because, like, they think Epic Games can't afford lawyers.
Yeah.
Like, I know they should still should try or whatever, but damn, man. I don't know. That seems like a juggernaut to go up against. We'll see.
Do you think Epic Games might just be like, yo, we have the money, let's just
buy it
like
out.
just buy it out so we can stop getting this bad press?
Yeah,
Because it seems like almost like every 2 weeks now, someone else comes out and says, hey, you also stole mine. Just a heads up, they also stole mine. And it's just not a great look, regardless of whether it's like a legal issue or not for
Totally.
Epic.
But then at what point do you stop it? It's like that thing, like, people say that when, like, I can't remember who, I think it was a rapper, was just saying that, like, as soon as they got famous and played on the radio, all of a sudden every family member they've ever known started calling and wanting for money. It's going to be the same thing. That, like, at what
Well,
point...
I think what you do is, you know, if you wanted to be totally above the board and make sure you've covered your bases,
Mhm.
is you just work with these artists. Or, I don't I hesitate to say the word artist, but I need some kind of word for this group of people.
But, like, what if you don't have to because they didn't create it? This is just a thing people do, and there's no reason to... Just because this guy did it first, who fucking cares?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't...
Well,
yeah, I don't know. This is why
I
I
know,
didn't
the-
go
the
into a
good-
lot, because...
I mean, yeah, from a money standpoint, if you don't have to pay anyone, you
Why
won't.
would you? Yeah.
But from like a good guy, you know, making sure everyone feels good, you could just work with the person, like, you
Mhm.
know, and even like it's not that far out to be like, you know, have some kind of like, and now we brought in this person's latest dance. We got Soldier Boy's Crank That. It's coming in October or whatever, you know?
It seems weird to me that they just wouldn't, especially after hearing that fucking Floss kid worked with him. Like, just seems like something they would do anyway. So, like, why is this even... Oh, it's weird. This is such a weird thing.
It is, yeah. All right, last story. Heroes of the Storm from Blizzard is going to be slowing down production significantly.
Their esports thing. They're just taking away their esports thing, not going to be putting money into it, and taking a bunch of people working on that and Heroes of the Storm in general, and moving it to other projects, which I hope is AKA Diablo 4 because fuck Blizzard, give me something. You have to give me something.
Well, hey, they just gave you Diablo 3 on Switch.
They didn't give me that. I have to buy
Yes,
that.
they did.
I don't want to. I don't want to buy that. I have that
Well,
on
I'm
PC.
saying in terms of putting stuff out, they just put that out. They're working on that Diablo mobile game.
You're really winning them over with this, Sean.
I'm giving you the facts. Anyways,
they didn't make that mobile game. That
so, yes,
stupid
they're taking
Chinese
people off,
company
which-
did. Anyway,
they're taking people off
Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the Storm, which will definitely slow down production of new stuff. They have said that they are still planning to make new characters and things will still be coming to it.
Yep.
And then the big one was that the 2 esports properties they had regarding Heroes of the Storm will be gone, titled Heroes Global Championship and Heroes of the Dorm, which I guess was a college-based school thing. That's a good name.
Yeah.
I can say that. This is the first I'd ever heard of that, but that's a fun name.
Yep.
So I guess it's a bummer for the community a bit, but at least it's not like dead.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for news. Let's do some questions. If people want to send questions, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box are all great ways to send questions in. I'll read this first one from Micaiah, who says, what would it require to convince you to spend money on a gacha or loot box-centric game? For those who may be unaware, gacha games are games where you use the in-game currency to randomly acquire characters or items from a large list.
I have no
Had to
problem
be really
spending
into the
money.
game.
Yeah. As long as I'm into the game, I have no problem spending money in it.
I guess the other thing is it's got to feel like it's going to help me.
Well, I mean, it definitely will help you. You'll have something you didn't have.
I'll use this as a comparison. I'm playing Sega Heroes on my phone. I feel like I would not put money into that
Agreed.
because the game does not feel like it respects you as a player.
Can you
It
give an
so
example of like what you would put money into that would not be useful or not helpful?
So in Sega Heroes, you can buy diamonds, which lets you either use them to get more stamina or get like certain items, but the cost rate versus the amount of money you have to put in is not balanced. It's really imbalanced.
Okay, so I mean, those would help you. It's just you think it's too expensive.
Well, now here's the thing too. Like you need to get X amount of shards to like unlock a character, for example. Like a legendary character, for example, is 50 or 65 shards, something like that. I think it's 65.
Are shards the diamonds you mentioned?
No, shards are literally like another collectible you can get that help you unlock a character.
Okay.
300 diamonds gives you 20 shards randomly pulled from 4 different like tiers. So like the character that needs 65 shards has a 9% chance of being pulled on one of them, or like one of the ones from that level, and on the second pull has a 0.5 chance, I think it is. Something bonkers like that. So basically, like, you at best have like a 9% shot of getting one part of one of the legendary characters. And keep in mind, you need 65 parts to get them.
Yeah, okay. I mean, my eyes are already like glazing over when you're explaining all the in-app stuff with that. So yeah, that's silly. Okay, can you think of an example of one that you did put money into, you did enjoy, like it was a worthwhile?
Record Keeper.
What did that give you? What was the conversion there?
High odds on getting new weapons for my characters, because at the very least, even if I didn't get the high weapon I was looking for, I got some weapon.
Okay. You bought also loot boxes in Overwatch, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And those were all like for fun cosmetic stuff when I was into the game.
Sure. Paul, do you have an example of ones you have put money into?
For gacha games, like specific or just any loot box centric sort of thing?
Right, either.
Okay. I,
'Cause, I
I mean, we were just talking about Heroes of the Storm. I would just straight up buy like skins and stuff, or like, and it became boxes at some point, but didn't really do the. I don't like buying boxes itself. I'd rather. I don't know. I feel like I have done it, but I'm trying to think of what game it would be. Probably a mobile game of some sort. I'm trying to think of some of the games
Did
that
you ever like Pokemon Go?
Yes, I did play Pokemon Go. I never had to buy anything though. It felt pretty okay.
Okay.
The stuff that it gave.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever spent money. I'm trying to think of the big games where it's like, well, why didn't I? And I think of like Overwatch. And for the most part, it was like, because I was getting loot boxes at an okay pace just by playing.
Sure.
But for also just like for the most part, I kind of just didn't care about getting the costume earlier or not. It wasn't a big deal to me. I don't know.
No, I feel like that's perfectly fair.
Yeah, because I want to say like I would normally be fine with putting some money in, especially if it was free originally, and I want to support the game.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if the game is like if I'm enjoying it and I'm at a point where I want to support it, I'm probably like okay with how I'm playing it in the progression already, so I don't feel like the urge to.
Right.
Which is kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Like Overwatch would probably be mine too, because some of those skins are just too good.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed Overwatch, but I just never felt the urge to put additional money into it to get the skins. It was more just like, well, if I get the skin, I get the skin. If I don't, whatever.
Oh, I know the obvious one, Hearthstone. I've spent so much money on Hearthstone because cards. A card game. That's just the way those operate. So, yeah.
All right.
All right. I can grab the next one from Hebrew Lantern. ATDP, what are your favorite dates you've had with your significant other, and do you have any super memorable first dates overall? Super memorable first dates.
Yeah, well, if nothing super memorable is jumping to mind for a first date, so I guess I don't have one of those, or I don't remember.
Yeah. Favorite date was probably taking Reese to Disneyland.
Sure.
We were in LA, so we're just like, hey, let's go to Disneyland.
I feel like the thing I've had with the last couple people I've had a relationship with is not so much a date, but just kind of like the date went on really long because we just like chatted for a while, like way longer than you normally would.
Sure.
Because like neither of you kind of wanted to end, and those have always been memorable. And that typically happens.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that one at all.
Yeah, no, for sure. But like it's like we're not doing really anything besides just chatting and enjoying each other's company.
Yeah.
Trying to think if I have any favorite dates. Yeah, I guess all my dates are super boring because I can't remember anything.
You did it. Proud of you.
Like, I'm sure there's been dates that have just been like, at the time, this is great, but none of them have been like skydiving. Like, they haven't been like that standout.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like, have I ever gone on like an event and it's or like take all the things, all the like the cool stuff I've like done with my girlfriend hasn't been like, let me take you on this amazing date. It's more just like, hey, we're gonna go do this thing as a couple or whatever. I don't know. I guess that's
and there's nothing wrong with that, honestly.
Yeah, no, I'm not over here feeling bad. I'm just like, I don't have a great answer for this.
Memorable, yeah. First dates specifically aren't very memorable because they're usually the worst date. Learning each other.
I don't know, but part of that makes it exciting.
I guess so. You would think they'd be more memorable then. Like, you have a point, but like... All right, fair enough.
I have a tiny little funny story from the first date with my current girlfriend. This isn't anything amazing. We went out for dinner, and I was like, hey, I asked you out. Please let me pay for it. This is my treat. But they, for some reason, wouldn't take my debit card or my credit card.
No.
I had no
Oh,
cash
man.
on me, and I was like, "Oh crap!" So I had to be. They were like, "Well, there's an ATM down the street," and I was like, "Okay, cool." So I had to like walk down the street, get some cash, and go back. But that was just kind of like an awkward scenario of like, "Oh, geez, this is not a good look." But I mean, it was totally understandable.
Sure, yeah.
John, you want to take this next one from VGC Kenny?
Sure. VGC Kenny writes in and says, if Skybound nails the remaining Walking Dead episodes, would you want them to do more projects? If so, how long of a break would you want them to take between Walking Dead and whatever the next project would be? Also, if so, would you want them to handle another property? If so, which one? Or have an original story? I'm going to be real. I don't think any company's going to trust anything associated with Telltale right now.
Well, I think it was Telltale management, not the developers, right?
I mean, yeah, I
even
guess.
them were like, they were like sucker punched. They had no idea it was blowing up that fast. Has Skybound done any games, or did they literally just buy developers and say, we don't know what we're doing, but you guys know how to make a game. Please make a game.
I think the
I think it's
latter.
that.
Yep. Here's the thing. If they nail the remaining Walking Dead episodes, I haven't kind of cared about the Walking Dead Telltale series type stuff in a long time, so I kind of don't care if they make something else after. It's not a big deal to me.
And like, I don't play their games, so I kind of also don't care. I mean, I feel like there's still a spot in the world for that kind of game, though. So I'd imagine if they handle it well, people will want them to do more. Because I'm sure that, like, there was a market for Telltale games no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were, for sure.
Yeah, it's just whether or not they're managed well enough to keep going.
And also if so, do you want them to handle another property? For the love of fucking God, yes. Just stop with The Walking Dead after it. You're done with this stuff. If you're gonna do more of those, just try another property.
Okay, I looked up Skybound Games. I'm on skyboundgames.com/games.
Okay.
I think they're more of a publisher because they have They have Slime Rancher, The Long Dark.
Oh,
they
wow.
even have Death's Gambit and Hollow Knight.
Death's Gambit, but that's Adult Swim Games.
I'm seeing Skybound Games to distribute Death's Gambit and Hollow Knight. I'll click on this link and see what it says.
In that case,
we're partnering with Adult Swim Games to bring Death's Gambit to PS4.
Oh.
So if they're a publisher, then yes, I want them to keep choosing good projects, I guess.
Yeah. You know what? For the most part, I think that they picked up the Telltale people. I think the way they've been handling it seems well. Trying to, rehiring old devs. That seems like the right play there. So yeah, that's fine. I guess the question more is, do we want this team, whatever, like this internal team now, this ex-Telltale team, to be making more games? I guess that would make more sense for this question, right?
I mean, if they get to actually do their damn jobs and not be fucked over by mismanagement, I'd say why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy the Telltale games. I would like those people to keep doing stuff. There was a year there where Telltale or Walking Dead Season 1 was my game of the year. I've enjoyed the other games they've made. Wolf Among Us was good. I enjoyed the first Batman one and the Borderlands one. I would like them to do more games. I agree. I'm done with the Walking Dead games. They've made enough. I fell off of those a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
Please make another one. Original or a property, I kind of don't care.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my answer here. When they're done with The Walking Dead, I don't want them to do another Telltale thing. I just want to see what that team can do. Like without
not another adventure game?
No, I just want to see what they would be good at. I want them to try something new.
Sure. Yep, I'm fine.
But what if what they want to do is just more Telltale adventure game style stuff?
I'm fine with that.
Well, I mean, then they need to be thrown in jail, of course. They need to be incarcerated for life.
Wow.
Part of me is I would like to see them try something different. The other part is I don't want the Telltale style adventure game to go away. Luckily, we have Life is Strange also doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I do enjoy that style of game quite a bit. So I would like someone to to have one of those to be looking forward to, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jacket K says, do you think DLC characters inclusion in Smash will result in us gaining more spirits based on their series? Could anything else new be added, like stages and music? For example, would Joker's inclusion in Smash result in us getting new spirits from the Persona series?
Probably.
I'm assuming Nintendo would probably give them like a stage as well, and then the stage would have music for sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they confirm music and stage and character for each release.
Okay, so Piranha
Like
Plant
that
gets its own
is
stage?
known. Yes, that is for sure. Although Piranha Plant's a special exception, but I believe he is getting a stage.
Okay. What do you think his stage is going to be? Or hers?
Probably just like a grassy plain, or it could be a pipe maze, which would be also fun.
That'd be cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't put more spirits in. Those seem like the easiest thing, since it's basically like
Sure.
character art. They
Well, it's
have
more so
that
if they're gonna bother getting the rights and paying extra. That's
for
the
like,
real
another
question.
character. Because yeah, it wouldn't be a Joker spirit. He'd be the character, so it would be another Persona's spirit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see it. Sure. I mean, if they're doing the deal for this, why not throw a couple more things in there? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess a follow-up to that, VGC Kenny, to add on to that question in the Discord, said, to make it more complex, will Joker's inclusion mean spirits from just Persona 5, all the Persona games, or all of the Shin Megami Tensei games?
Well, Paul, tell us. I know you know the answer.
Just Persona 5.
All right, you heard it here first. Just
Mhm.
Persona 5.
No,
No,
I
it's
could
gonna
see,
be,
I could see them getting some Shin Megami stuff.
Going to be some Catherine spirits.
I'd be down. Oh.
You joke, but with the new release of Catherine coming out.
And Joker's actually going to be in that. So,
Wait, actually, I wasn't aware of that.
oh yeah, a trailer came out last week. You can play as Joker in, and there's a stage, a Persona stage in Catherine.
Good lord. All right. Well, it makes sense. Take advantage of it.
There you go. All right, that's it for questions. If you want to send questions for next week, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. What are your games of the week?
Hades.
Smash.
I'm going to give it to Grimvalor, however you say it. Okay. Some housekeeping in regards to the Patreon. The Rogue Legacy episode is getting pushed back 2 weeks so that John will be back from MagFest in order to talk about it.
Yep. Sorry, guys. That's my fault.
So 2 weeks from now, you will do the Rogue Legacy episode. In terms of what we will be playing next month, the poll is still live until tomorrow, which is Friday the 28th. So if you're listening to this live and you are a Patreon backer, please go vote, because we're currently at a tie and we need that to be broken. Otherwise, we're going to flip a coin, and we'd rather not have to flip a coin if you guys could just give us a majority. So if you haven't voted, please go vote. And last bit, we are just about nailed down when our Game of the Year episode is. It sounds like it'll be on the 11th of January. So that will also be when the survey is ending. Is that correct, Paul? Or are you doing it sooner?
I'm not. Yeah, sooner. I'm not gonna go until the last minute, till the 11th.
Okay, never mind. Then you don't have until the 11th. So
Let's say the
So
5th.
hurry
Let's say the
the
week
hell up.
before, the 6th, the Sunday will be the last day. So
Okay,
starting
so
Monday the 7th.
Monday the 7th is the last day to get the community survey done for the Game of the Year survey. So make sure you do that if you want to be a part of that. Until then, we will. Paul and I will be here next week. John's going to be at MagFest.
Yep. So if
Yeah,
you're going there,
anything
you
to
see me
plug?
there. We got a panel, throwing controllers, Friday 5 to 7. And on Saturday, we also have an autograph session, which I believe is from 3:30 to 5:30 in the autograph area.
All right. So catch Paul if you're going to MagFest. Otherwise, you'll catch
Paul.
John.
Paul's surprised. Paul's also going.
Wait,
Paul,
what?
what panels are you on?
Why didn't you tell
Oh,
me? We
I'm
could've gotten
on-
you a room.
I'm on
You're on throwing
shit.
controllers.
Yeah, I'm on Thorough Controllers. Saturday at 11 p.m.
Oh, it's a completely different Throw Controller show. I see. Congratulations.
He's also
The
on
bigger, better Throne controllers.
That's exactly the joke I was going with. He's on better Throne controllers. It's immediately before John's. He's got an autograph session. It's all weekend. Just find him and he'll sign whatever you want.
Yeah, no, I'll be at that table all weekend. I won't be moving. I'm chained to it.
Yeah.
Part of the contract.
And I know you're going there for Paul, but John will be at MagFest. So catch John there. Otherwise, catch, I guess, just me next week doing the show. Maybe Paul will Skype in from his phone from MagFest.
No, exactly.
For next week. All right. See you later.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.